Everything that rocks, Red 96.7, it's Shannon Knight. And joining me on the phone right now, Candlebox frontman Kevin Martin. Kevin, how you been, man?
I'm good. I'm in the middle of nowhere, so I don't know how long the signal's going to last.
Yikes. Well, just stay in the one spot that you're in because we're getting a good signal from you. Where are you at right now? Like South Dakota, Iowa?
Oklahoma.
Ah, yes, another state with a lot of nothing in it, from what I've been told.
Off the grid, baby, off the grid.
So, Kevin, Candlebox released its sixth studio album, Disappearing in Airports, back in April. How did you and the rest of the band approach differently to creating this album?
Well, we went into the studio only with about four things really written out, I would say, in the sense of being ready to be recorded. Everything else was done in the studio or written in the studio or created in the studio because we wanted to put ourselves under the pressure that we needed to create a record that, you know, was probably the best record we've ever made. And that's what we were hoping to do. We were hoping that that was something that we would be able to accomplish in the studio, and I think we did, just by putting ourselves under that pressure.
Awesome. Good to hear. I remember in past interviews that you happened to mention that working with certain record labels, they're a bit pushy, saying that they want you to work on a record really quickly and get it out there so you can sell lots and lots of copies because that's what they only really care about. I
mean, the thing about an independent like Pavement is they allow you to make the record you want to make without putting in, you know, the pressure of having to sell, you know, X amount of records, or we've got to, you know, reach a quota, you know, by July, so get the record out by January. They don't do that sort of thing. They kind of let us work at our pace. But, you know, we did it rather fast anyways. It was only 12 days total in the studio. So
wow, only 12 days? You don't hear a lot of artists saying that they can make a full album in just that amount of time. Now, the cover art for Disappearing in Airports, I gotta ask, you know, what made you guys decide to go with it? Because I'm looking at it, thinking to myself, are these supposed to be thought bubbles or something? Can you explain what it's all about?
Yeah, it was a painting that was done by a friend of mine. I'd asked him to paint something for the album cover, and in the process, he died. His name was Scott Rivers Fisher, and this was a painting that his sister sent to us that she kind of felt represented who Scott was, and he actually entitled the painting Disappearing in Airports. We didn't have anything to do with that, so it was really just to honor him. And if you take a step back from the actual piece itself, it's rather large. It's about 8 feet by 6 feet wide. There's a lot going on in that painting, you know, and unfortunately when you try to shrink it down to fit on a CD or vinyl, you can't really see that deep into it, but there's a lot of mixed media and texture in it, and that's kind of how the record is. It doesn't really follow one direction. It's kind of an experimental type of rock record for us, so with a lot of different styles in it, and so the painting really represents the album well.
Rev Warriors, if you're just listening in right now, I've got Candlebox frontman Kevin Martin on the phone with me. And Kevin, Candlebox going to be performing at Halfway Jam for the first time on Thursday, July 28th. And here in central Minnesota, Halfway Jam is the party of the summer for us. And with knowing that, how are you feeling about it? You know, coming to Minnesota, rocking our faces off and everything.
Well, it's not our first time in Minnesota, but first time at Halfway Jam. You know, we have a good time. I think our show is, it's not, I guess, structured so much. We make a set list and then we call audibles every now and then. So for us, it's really just about playing the music for the fans. And we love what we do, and we've been doing it 25 years, and we're grateful for that. So I think that comes across during our shows.
So with that, do you prefer to do more of an outdoor music scene, or are you more into doing house shows and arenas, or are you kind of like, hey, you put a stage in front of us and we're going to grab our gear and we're going to perform a show for you because that's who we are. We're performers.
Pretty much. We'll just play wherever. You know, we love playing music, and you know, we have the best job in the world, and I don't think any of us takes that for granted, thankfully. So it's really, you know, like we're playing this great little theater here in Oklahoma tonight, which is, you know, I think maybe 700-800 people, but last night we played a 1,200-seat venue. We just did St. Louis Point Fest, which was 15,000. You know, it really just kind of is where we're at, is what we do.
Now, with you bringing up the topic of the set list, I got to ask you, when you guys are here at Halfway Jam, what's that going to be looking like? Are we going to hear more music from Disappearing in Airports, or can we expect some tunes from past albums?
Oh, you get a mix of everything. You get a lot of stuff from the first record, a couple songs off of Lucy, a couple songs off of Happy Pills, Into the Sun, and Love Stories and Other Musings. It's about, you know, depending on the set time that we're allowed, you know, some venues, when you do the outdoor festivals, you know, we're only allowed 35 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour. So we got to come, you know, kind of squeeze in everything we can in that time period. But when we have a full set, an hour and a half to 2 hours, it's about 15 to 18 songs.
All right. Good to know. Good to know. Other artists performing the same day as Candlebox include Figure 11, Kat Perkins, Soul Asylum, and Theory of a Dead Man. Will you personally be checking out any of the other bands when it's their turn on stage, or do you prefer to just stay in the back, get your head in the game for when it's time for you to go on?
Well, I'm friends with all the guys in all those bands. So, and in Kat, I've known for years, so I'm excited to see her. I haven't seen her in a while. But yeah, I'll watch all the bands. I enjoy that. You know, that's one of the best things about the festivals is being able to stand on the side of the stage and see what the band's doing and see how the crowd's reacting.
A few weeks ago, I chatted with Scott Anderson from Figure 11, and he informed me that he's actually going to be walking through the crowd of Halfway Jam, getting the whole festival experience, along with checking out the show from the side stage. Will you be doing something like that also, or do you prefer to just stay, in the backstage area on the side stage watching it all?
Well, I love going out in the crowd as well. It's really nice to be in that environment.
Now, after Candlebox's performance at Halfway Jam, you guys are going to be heading off to Florida. Will your tour bus be stopping at any places where you or anyone else are like, no, listen, we need to stop here? Like a favorite diner in St. Louis, maybe grabbing some whiskey in Tennessee, or hitting up that one strip club in Florida?
No, we usually drive overnight, so we wake up in the town that we're in. If we are in a place that we have like a favorite barbecue joint, we generally will get in an Uber or cab and hit that just for lunch or whatever. But really, it's about being at the venue and helping the crew out and getting things set up for us, and that's kind of what we focus on mostly.
Kevin, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to talk with me. Hope that you and the rest of the guys in Candlebox have an awesome show tonight in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma. And I will see you here at Halfway Jam 13 on the 28th.
Thanks, Shannon.